What is up guys, welcome back to the channel, it's TK, and today I'm going to show you how to deal with this revenge tower the best way possible. A few entries and tips and tricks, so let's dive in and see this video. So here we go, and I'm using the Root Rider Valkyrie currently. It's doing pretty well for me. I did a 1-star, and guys, if you're doing 1-stars, it's normal. I've seen many pro players do 1-stars, including myself, including my friends. It's a lot of people who are doing 1-stars, and honestly, yeah, you just have to get through it, man. You don't need to have other attacks very well done, so the 1-stars doesn't hurt you as much. So first thing first, I'm gonna be hitting my own base actually in the membership. If you wish to see the bases, of course you can go with the membership of the channel or the Clash Champs membership. All the links will be down below in the description. But the first tip I want to give you is that the tower which is in the core of the base, usually with these cores you can't really reach it with the RC charge, and you can't start your attack into it, and by the time you're doing a lot of your RC charges and the starting point of your attack, the tower will go all the way up, which means that is the 40%. So what is the key thing to do? Well, I'm gonna give you one massive key thing. Don't overgrowth it. Just do not do it. There is a reason why I have it in this area around the fire spitters, because people love to overgrowth this tower and overall the fire spitters whenever they are. So once they do, if your troops go far ahead and they want to come back for the last breath of themselves, it's not really going to work. So the first tip I'm going to give you, basically it will be the second tip, is to use the totem spell or the skeleton spell behind this tower. From the area you're entering right here, if I can grab my pen, if you're entering from this area, you need to place a totem behind it so it doesn't do the ricochet part of the shots into your troops. Look at this. First thing first is because all the troops are too far. That's why the first one I'm just dropping in front. But take a look at the second one that I'm going to be dropping. It's going to be on the back side of it whilst I overgrowth the back end. This is how it turns around and not hit your troops anymore. You can do that obviously a bit earlier, a bit maybe quicker, but I was just being able to do that right there showed me that is one of the ways to deal with it very good. So an overgrowth on the back side, like you can see the damage it was going to be on that totem, so we removed that damage first, then we place the totem. If you just place the totem right behind that much damage, it's gonna get cooked and it will target back your troops. So you can see how these work together. That overgrowth also made sure we managed to finish this back end very nicely with 4 heroes alive. Actually no, sorry, my warden is dead, 3 heroes alive, and overall it was a good try. I baited this space for RC charges into the revenge tower and all those things with the fire spitters and also the crafted defense, which was light beam in this space. But overall this is one of the ways to deal with it. Let's move on to the next. The next method is a bit interesting because it's only one thing, and that is called Diggy. If you do not have the Diggy in your armies, just please put the Diggy. If you're still using that Sneezy on the warden, that is a wrong pet, guys. Like, the Diggy is a lifesaver. You're gonna see in this attack why. So we have a little bit of RC charge here, unfortunately with the invis spells, so the fox is getting absolutely cooked. That's why I don't really want to lose the fox too early, so I'm going to go back-to-back invis. But I kind of lost count on it, so we kind of mess up. The fox dies anyway. That's a spoiler for you guys. But honestly, with the poison, spell, tower, and yeah. Too much damage, man, too much damage. But overall, a nice little RC charge back-to-back invis, no problem there, no issue there. Sometimes it happens and you need to adapt. But this tower being on the right side and these areas you can see with the fire spitters, the back side of these are super baited. So you can't start into it with either the RC charge or the Root Rider Valkyrie. That's why on this approach, I'm telling you, the Diggy. Obviously, right now the totem spell approach would work too, but I was just trying to show you the different methods. And now we're gonna go with the ice golem. Once the ricochet cannon locks, we're gonna start with the root riders, everything down the middle obviously, and then ice golem king on the right side. Log launcher doing amazing, will grab me the town hall. And now with this amount of troops going into the base, trying to take down the multi-archer tower before the ice golem frees everything. So look at this, my warden leaves the army and goes to the giant. I think this is what happened, or the queen or whatever. Look at the warden. He left queen, RC, and like all the root riders to go to the giant. Bro, this is where I was like, hold on a second, we might be cooked. So quickly, I'm dropping a totem right in front of that, because we're a bit too far still. But I'm dropping a poison, and now look at the Diggy. It stuns it. This is why you want the Diggy in your army. These are the little things. And look at this again. It goes down. It comes and stuns it again because of a few other stuff that the Diggy was targeting. The Diggy can stun the defenses twice. And it's insane how that did not hit a single Root Rider. Some people lose their entire armies because of that. So obviously now they're gonna be like Totem Spell and the Diggy. These two are super key if you cannot start into that Revenge Tower. Again, 3 heroes alive, full HP. Back end, we have some Rocket Loons and Barbarian to take care of the back end again. And overall, this is how you want to have these kind of distractions, or the tanking, or the stun effects. These are the things you need to be dealing with when you're coming against the Revenge Tower, because honestly, I've seen some crazy stuff happen to my friends, losing Wardens, losing RC, losing Queen. Like, they pop their Queen ability, which is the Magic Mirror and the Giant, and the Revenge Tower just cooks everything in like 5 seconds. It's crazy how strong it is. But let's move on to the last hit, which is going to be another key point. So lastly, we are on this super toxic core town hall with the long shot, double rage, and it's insane. Now, this space is been edited. The monolith is originally on the Revenge Tower, and I know there is a lot of traps on this side because not a lot of people would have charged the Rage Tower. So what I know about the base matters. I know there is no traps. Going with the RC charge on this Rage Tower, because obviously we have the Giga Bomb on the other side. In High Legends, some people are trying to bait the Giga Bomb itself. On the lower parts, you will see the Giga Bomb not having any traps around it. But in High Legends, people are a bit more clever, so you can see how they manage to put the bases like they do. The attackers need to be clever too. The base builders are absolutely insane. So, this RC charge, I wanted to go forward, but unfortunately, we need to watch out here a bit. Again, back-to-back EVs, we do not want to risk one shot of this long shot. A ricochet cannon and a monolith can cook my RC. So on this attack, look at the percentage we got. And we are close by that tower. So what I do is I'm going to go with Queen Log Launcher, Ice Golem. But notice this, we're not going to take too much time on this, because the more time you take, the more takedown of buildings you're going to have. And this tower is going to be at its maximum. So we're still on 30%. 40% is where it's going to go crazy. So the tower is shooting us. It's still okay. It's not the worst. Don't spend a lot of spells. Now you can see again the totem on the backside, like the first tip. So by the time the tower is now locking on the troops, now this is where the Diggy comes, this is where the troops come, it will be decent enough. So starting into that tower whenever you can. You saw on the last base, because of the fire spitter placement, there is a high risk of massive amount of giant bombs and traps. That's why we couldn't start into it. And the other one had a very weird place of this Revenge Tower, which was in the core, my base, if you remember. So this is why I'm trying to show you many different approaches due to the placement of this Revenge Tower. RC ability, never pop it whenever she's under so much damage. Pop it whenever she is going to get under so much damage. This is a difference. Some people need to understand these methods. Now again, 3 heroes alive. Unfortunately, Queen died way too early. I told you, the core is toxic and the sides are super toxic, but we managed to get the triple. Hopefully these tips and tricks help you to deal with the Revenge Tower, because I know a lot of you might be struggling a bit with it. I'm personally sometimes struggling, so there is no issue. Don't worry, you are not alone. And overall, I will bring you a video soon on how to deal with the other buildings, the seasonal defenses. It just needs to be a bit more in the game, so we attack it more, we build bases around it more, and overall we get some nice ideas of how to deal with them. Or sometimes maybe I will bring you a base video which is going to be for every single one of the seasonal defenses. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like it and drop a sub. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.